Hi guys, welcome back to Tigre Gitana. My name is Abby and today we are going to be doing this week's chakra videos, the first one being the root chakra. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing during this video is that I have the Akashic Records open currently. That way we can get any additional messages that we need to get. That's something that I've been doing recently after I finished taking the Akashic Records course in September with my friend Hoye, who had this whole class that he's teaching, which is coming back in November if you want to sign up. So I'm leaving the records open because I've been playing around with doing some of the other modalities that I do with having the records open, and what I found is that it makes it a little bit more, it takes out a lot of the bias from the readings, especially the ones that I do for me personally. So if you've never tried, or like if you know how to open the records and you open the records and you also happen to read tarot or whatever, or you have a different modality, I would definitely recommend trying it with that modality because it definitely changes, it takes any bias away, which is nice, and then you get to have the clear direct messages flowing through. So I will be having the records open just for any additional messages that need to come through, as well as any other ways that I need to interpret the cards. As far as like I get the messages really fast from them, so it's like it's easy. So for the root chakra, what is our blockage this week for the root chakra from October 15th to the 22nd? What is our blockage in our root chakra? Okay, that's very, what's going on? Why I'm at? Okay. What is our blockage in our root chakra? Oh, the sun. That's a hard one. That's about ego though. Okay. Okay. So. Okay. That's our blockage. And then what can we do to heal our root chakra this week? What can we do to heal our root chakra this week? What can we do to heal? Ooh, shit. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Sweet. Hold on. My whole thing is coming off. So, bottom of the deck. Eight of Pentacles, Page of Wands. So those two. So interesting, very interesting stuff. So the first row for what our blockage is the Sun, the Ace of Wands, the Four of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and then the Page of Cups. So there is a blockage of wanting to have an opportunity and kind of just waiting for like a better time. And actually this has been coming up a lot for the past couple of weeks. It's kind of ridiculous how much that kind of message has been coming up. I wrote about it in my Instagram a while back where I basically made a post and I said like there's a destination, having like destination, what was it that I said? It's like basically that when you're always waiting to be in a different place in order to be happy, and you're always waiting for the next thing. The next thing is gonna make you happy. The next job, the next promotion, the next relationship, it's always the next. It's never like in the moment, and it's always like waiting for the next thing, the opportunity to actually feel genuine, to have the fresh thing, to feel something. It's just that next destination happiness. That's what it's called, destination happiness. That's what our blockage is this week, and that's really sad because this has to do with the ego. And there's a stubbornness that comes from the root chakra, because again, the root chakra has to do with the earth. It has to do with grounding. It's ruled by Capricorn. Yeah, no better than to act like this. But there is a kind of regrounding that needs to take place, because if we're feeling that a really bad dose of destination happiness, that's not really gonna work out for balancing and healing that space, because then we're never actually gonna be happy in the moment. And if we're not happy in the moment, what is the point? You can't spend your life waiting to be happy later. You have to happy in the moment. You have to live in the moment. And it's hard to live in the moment when we have all these goals and all these things that we want, and I get it. But there's so much stuff that's already been manifested from before the shit that you wanted to manifest. Like the reality that you are in now, you wanted to manifest ages ago. And now that you are not in that space and you're in the space that you already was asking for the long run, now you want to wait till the next one. Like, living your life that way is not a good way to ground yourself, because then you're not grounded. You're just always searching for something. You're always like on the move for something else, or something else that you need, like a fresh something else that gives you some sort of substance. And that's not a good way to go about first of all, working with your root chakra space as far as healing it. That's like a huge blockage, because that's a very egotistical way to live. It's like your ego is constantly waiting for a better time, because you cannot see for the life of you that you are in a better time currently. So the way we heal this week, and it's kind of funny that this was the first card that jumped out, is the Hermit. So Hermit is the card of Virgo. This is Virgo energy. They also rule health, healing, and serving others. The Hermit is all about internalizing and analyzing and going back inside and doing that work. It's also an earth sign, so it's working with that root chakra space, but it's a very mental energy, which is also why the Queen of Swords came out. The next two cards are the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and then the Queen of Swords. So there is something that in this whole thing, the way you will heal your root chakra space this week is by mentally going in and regrounding yourself, and stop being goddamn stubborn, and regrounding yourself to what you need to do, the way you should be thinking, reanalyzing yourself with the stuff that you've already earned, the stuff that you value, the stuff that you already have, the stuff that you were waiting for before. Like, why doesn't it mean anything now? What, you done manifested that shit. Enjoy it. Go out, go on a date, go to a movie, go to what, like, it's like saying I worked for, like, if you get paid bi-weekly or whatever, I worked for 2 whole weeks, and when I finally get paid, instead of being happy that it's payday and I get to actually use the money, I'm gonna be looking forward to the next 2 weeks. I'm not even gonna think about the fact that I have this money in my bank account. Does anybody think like that? No. And you want to know why? Because money is the thing that you kind of you're waiting to use, right? And you know it's coming because you've already worked at it, right? But the thing is that when it comes, you have to act. You have to do something with it. And it's kind of like the same thing but the thing is that not everything appears to be money. Not everything appears to be money. Valuable stuff doesn't appear in physical bank statements and shit. That's not the way it happens. It comes in different ways. And so, like, the way you need to reground yourself is like literally mentally checking yourself, like, wait, hold on, I need to pull back down and see what it is. Like, I need to actually think about, like, hey, you know what, this is where I am right now. Like, analyze where you are this week, because what? No, this is not the way. Like, you really, this has to do with ego this week, and just checking in on yourself. Like, when it comes to your root chakra, you always want to make sure that that one out of all things is balanced. That one out of all things. If you're stressed out about money, about work, about promotion, about paying bills and stuff like that, a lot of it tends to be mental. And it's like, I get it. I totally get it. But you cannot live your life waiting to pay the next bills, waiting to get the promotion so you could pay off the house and all this shit. Enjoy the fucking house that you're living in. Plant a garden. Do something. Enjoy the thing that you're like don't just stress out about something. Like, the whole point of earth energy, and I was explaining this to someone yesterday who I was talking about astrology to. The whole point of earth signs. Let's talk about earth signs for a second, because root chakra is all earth. Don't get it twisted. It's all fucking earth. So let's talk about earth sign. The earth signs are like trees. Now, where are their roots? Can you see their roots? Where are their roots? They're deeply in the ground. They have built the foundation. They are growing, and if they are one of those trees that grow fruit, then eventually they will grow fruit, and they will just be out here, you know, with all the fruits that they grew. But the point is that they have a foundation. Their roots are somewhere. And that is the same thing with your roots chakra. As far as healing goes, you need to be grounded to some level, because I know some signs struggle with this. There's a lot of people that struggle with this. And it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do for some signs because they're more air or whatever the case may be, or more fire, and they can't like sit the fuck down, and it's hard. But working with root chakras, it's not always about like, oh, okay, I'm gonna stay in a house and do the traditional stuff, and it doesn't always have to do that. Sometimes it has to be with just enjoying everything that you have, what you ground yourself in energetically. What is it that you've put so much time in that means so much to you, that it's like so a stable place for you to come back to, and that has to do with the ego. And this is all solar plexus work that needs to be done, because if you're having this blocked off and then this card is coming up, this is also solar plexus work that needs to be done, because the sun also rules that, because Leo rules that. So I would say there needs to be some time taken out, some retreating that needs to be done, some pulling back that needs to be done, so we can like reground ourselves energetically speaking, and really kind of check ourselves. The root chakra is like a check. You're checking on your feet, like where you're walking. Like as you're walking down the street, check where the hell you're walking, when you're gonna turn. But check on yourself, like check what you're dragging. Check to see like where you're at. Like don't just run across the street without looking out where you're going. Like check on yourself. That's what is about this week. So I'm gonna pull. I really love this deck. I did a whole thing on my Instagram where I was pulling oracle cards for people, and I really like using this deck. It's called the Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reed, and I got this one recently, and I've just been pulling so many cards from it, and it's really accurate, which I kind of just as per usual. So what do we need to know from the 15th to the 22nd of October for our root chakra? I feel like I'm going to be using this deck a lot more. What do we need to know? Oh. Okay. That was typed fast. So we got number 1, which is the Bone Collector. And let me see if it's anything like the Magician, because 1 is very much of a master number. But let's see. Okay. You are whole and have everything you need within. When the Bone Collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present. Fully present, or reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this here while I talk about this. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it is something essential. It is as if something essential is stolen from us. We adapt and accept a particular version of truth that then sets us up to behave a certain way in the future. When faced with situations that remind us of the original event, what we know about ourselves thus becomes influenced by the perception of limitation. You may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable, or expect to be criticized. No matter what your question, the Bone Collector reminds you that the truth is you are powerful being with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding and is here for you to reclaim it now. You have everything you believe you lack, and the Bone Collector is your inner resource. Act as if you have what you need, and you'll find you have it all. Anything is possible with awareness. The wounds of the past need not define you. I told you this deck was super accurate. Anyway, so that is for the root chakra. That was actually really good. So I would say work on that for this week, especially because that is not necessarily one of the best kind of issues to have to kind of go through. But sometimes we just need to come back to ourselves and like just remind ourselves of the thing. That always ends up happening. Stay in your power, but remind yourself, you know, you always have to be like our own therapist, or go to therapy if you need to go to therapy. We always have to be the ones, but there's nothing wrong with doing that work, because we always have to constantly come back to ourselves and be like, okay, what, okay, what am I doing? What's happening? So I hope you guys enjoyed that reading. I will see you guys on the next one. I'm putting them all in order. Don't forget to subscribe and do all the things. All my links and stuff will be down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Mwah.